as a community we need to all work together.
It's not only good for the kids, it's good for the school.
Something that I'd like to see improved in our schooling.
It's really important for children. They learn best through doing. They learn.
This video outlines one stage of our journey, exploring the possibilities that exist within our learning community from preschool to post-secondary. As a group of principals, we have been meeting regularly over the years to refine our ideas on seamless education and how best to implement and address the needs of our wider community. Recently, we have been consulting with our community and wish to take this opportunity to share with you some of the views expressed.
All human beings are born with unique gifts. When we hold a newborn, we do not see a smart or dumb kid. We see a miracle of life creating itself.
When we forget about the fact that newborns are unique, we lose the awareness of where we want to head, and that we aim to create or drive for a positive, meaningful change in learning. And in the way that learning is done, we want to create a community where we don't lose that awareness that everyone has special abilities and is unique.
Yeah, so that when they come to, even they come through the doors of each school, and in my case when they come to the college, we don't want to be thinking, you know, how are we going to fix this kid up? That if it's kind of like a negative, we want to be thinking, wow, look at this amazing creation that's arrived before us, and how we're going to take them further. Isn't it? Yeah. That's because what you were talking about.
Because
yeah.
It's not about fixing.
Yeah.
It's not about fixing something that's broken.
Yeah.
Because it actually isn't broken.
Yeah.
It's just a different way. It's creating and moving that on to something brand new.
And not imposing that top-down model. So I think that what we're about is giving everybody the opportunity to be innovative and really understand what collaboration means, which I think that this reading here is beginning to do that for me today.
Yeah.
What if we paused long enough to examine the evidence we presently have about learners and effective learning environments, and used it to drive the change and build tangible, all-encompassing learning communities, something new, something that doesn't simply pay lip service to the phrase seamless education, something that begins from birth and continues right through to our children leave our communities, and yet still celebrates their successes in tertiary education. Something that results in unpicking the stitches, remeasuring the fit, recutting the pattern, with the realisation that the finished garment may be fundamentally different to the original and will need ongoing alterations. And what if we also consider that everyone has an interest in sewing this up? It's not just education, it's not just educationalists, educators. It's the wider community. We recognise that both educators and communities know what is best for their students.
We have about 180 staff. 160 of those have PC access. Also, the IT department also support digital cameras, PDAs, mobile phones.
If you were to choose people to work effectively with you now, what sort of skills would you be looking for?
Communication and people skills. Definitely problem skills and analytical types. You know,
able to assess and problem solve.
Absolutely, yep. Be confident and comfortable with technology, so have a really good basis and general understanding of PCs. Have a really good maybe vision or big picture, so they can think outside the square and think, okay, well, if they come across a problem, they're not stuck. They can think outside the square, go and look for other information, etc.
I'd like to introduce you to the 21st century here at Heathcotes. Just a few of the things that kids are buying today. iPods, they come in a wide variety. Cell phones, more and more children are having these with them in schools. Parents are buying them and integrating them within their families. This is a GPS system. Flash drives, thumb drives. Portable DVD, preschoolers, easy. They're really easy. This is the sort of thing my 3-year-old son can work. Now I'll ask you a question. What sort of things do kids carry with them all the time? Do they carry textbooks with them? No, they don't. They carry their pens and pencils? No, they don't. Two things they carry with them are their cell phones and their iPods. Okay? Imagine a world where you can register your telephone with a school system, parents alike, kids and parents, have an integrated network within the school system. Let's say enter a code in for a particular class, and you can automatically get a text with the homework of that child for each week or for each day to the child and the parent. This can be a registered system, let's say to register a phone of $50 for the year, and then our parents get that service so they can see what, and on their cell phone, what homework their children have to do. Exam registers, okay, what exams, what times, where they're being held.
I want to look at the seamless education process that you're examining, and I think it's marvellous because it fits in very much with what I've learned over the years. We can set up programs there that are not only to do with what we understand as learning, but take it out wider and make sure that those experiences are going to be conducive to preschool learning and school learning and so on. Well, the community taking responsibility, I think you talked about village learning, and that's where I see it happening. For a lot of the projects that we're trying to get going now, it's pulling the whole community together and all being responsible for each other.
I think that within the school system, the teachers were fabulous, and I think it's not down to the teaching, because the teachers I've met, and I know quite a few myself, are very good, but I do think things have to change, and that individualism needs to be met, or else our children aren't going to be scientists. They're not going to be these creative thinkers. We don't have enough people who want to do maths and science as older children. They want to go, and the girls want to be beauticians.
When parents come along to Playcentre with their children, it's a deliberate strategy to include parents in the education process. We have a comprehensive education program for our parents with courses that they can take to learn about their children's learning and development. So I think if, as a community, we were able to bring in speakers, parents would take the opportunity to find out more about the education system for their children and how that works. And I think if we gathered parents together as a community, there would be great contacts made between the different, the preschools, the primary schools, the secondary schools as well, which would be beneficial to parents.
We learn first and then we pass it on to our children, and I find this a very important part of education. In fact, I think that education involves parents and communities all the way through school. Respect. I think that's the most important part of anyone's education, is to respect their parents, never to be ashamed of bringing their parents or their grandparents forward into schools to help them, never being ashamed of where they live, how they live, of whether they have any money, whether they have clothes or anything like that. Yeah. Never to be ashamed of that, to carry on and learn with the help of the community. But it is important that they are able to carry their education through with children that they know, and then they become worthwhile citizens. They have friends to back them up. They know their friends' parents. They know the people in the community, and I think that's a very important part of their education.
At the moment we're buying a new library management system. It's been taking up a lot of time, but it's opening up an amazing possibility for us, particularly in the area of a website, which we know we need. We have customers who ask us constantly if we have a website, and it's in that area that we will really need to be going out, talking to educationalists, talking to schools, and getting some ideas of the things that we need to be doing and the ways in which we can reach out and support the schools and support students.
I see a lot of people who've got a huge amount to offer and they are keen. I see people who want to know how to use technologies like video and the internet to share their knowledge, skills and experience. I think if we can work together, pool our resources and enthusiasm wherever possible, we can really make something quite spectacular that would be hugely useful to our young people and a source of great pride for the wider community.
This is Isaac and Grace. They arrived in the world about a week ago, and they are just perfect, full of promise and potential. As a group of educators, we are hoping that the difference we're making within our community is going to make a difference in their lives.